primal and relationship between primal and dual LPPs. Primal and dual LPPs. Dual LPPs. Concepts. Concepts. Procedure to convert primal to dual. Procedure to convert primal into dual. First one, the maximization of objective function. Maximization. OF means objective function. Becomes in primal function in primal. Function in primal becomes minimization of cost function. Minimization cost function. Cost function and profit function are objective same thing. Cost function. Cost function. The dual problem. The maximization of LPP as the maximization LPP as less than or equal to symbol as less than or equal to type constant becomes greater than or equal to in dual. In dual, vice versa. Because if it is greater than, this becomes less than or equal to. Vice versa. Vice versa. Third one. If the primal consists primal consists The primal consists m constant and n variables, m constants and n variables. N variables. Then its dual contains dual contains dual contains n constants n constants and m variables m variables. Fourth one, the constants in the objective function primal appear RHS. The constants constants means C1 comma C2 comma etc. Cn in the objective function of primal object OF means objective function of primal objective function of primal objective function of primal appear in the RHS of the appear 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 on the RHS means right hand side of constants of the dual of constants of the dual the dual. Next, fifth one. The constants B1, B2, Bn of the constants of the primal, the constants, the constants, the constants B1, comma, B2, comma, etc. Bn of constants of the primal of the primal appear of the objective function of the object OF means objective function, the dual problem, the dual problem. Sixth one. Both primal and dual problems consists both primal and dual problem consists consists of decision variables are non-negative. Consists of DV means decision variables are non-negative. Means positive numbers being non-negative. Okay. For example, vitamin A, A, vitamin B, vitamin B, cost. So we have to consider one. Formula 1. 3 to 20. 3 to 20. We have to 2 to 25. 2 to 25. Right. Requirement. Requirement. 30. This is 20. So given that the cost one of the unit F1 is 20 rupees, F2 is 25. First, we need to write cost function. For that purpose, F1 is rupees 20, F2 is 25. Because we need to write a profit function or objective function or cost function. Same that purpose, we need to calculate cost function. 25 rupees. So primal. The problem right in primal. Primal means the primal. So minimize that. Minimize z equal to 20x1 plus 25x2. Right? So subject to constraints, STC. STC. STC means subject to constraints. Vitamin A, F1, F2. 3x1 plus 2x2, 2x2 greater than or equal to 30. Next, vitamin B, what is that? 2x1 plus 2x2 is greater than or equal to 20. Where x1 comma x2 greater than or equal to 0 means positive numbers. So x1 units of x1 x2 denote the unit number of f1 f2 respectively, and x1 comma x2 also units of f1 comma f2 respectively. Next, we wrote in primal Now in dual form. Dual form what we have to write. So first maximize. Minimize is there, maximize. Maximize W. W equal. Or Z you can use. 20 W1. 20 W1. 30 W1 plus 20 W2. 20 W2. So where W1 comma W2 are duals. Duals. So STC means subject to constraints. Subject to constraints. So 2W1 plus 2W2, 3W1, comma 2W2 is less than or equal to 20. And 2W1, 2W1 plus 2W2, W2 is less than or equal to 25. Printing mistake is there. So W2. Here W1 comma W2 are greater than or equal to 0. So W1 is the price of the foods. F1 and F2. We are W1 comma W2 are price of the foods. Price of the foods. Now F1 and F2 respectively. F2 respectively. So table 1. Primal dual. Primal dual. Primal. Minimize Z equal 1. MIN means minimize Z equal to C transpose X. We are dual. Max Z. Max W equal to B transpose Y. That is such that AX equal to B. AX equal to B. Such that X is greater than or equal to B. Such that A transpose Y less than or equal to C and Y is greater than or equal to 0. Second, max Z next page. Second, max Z equal to max Z equal to C transpose X. C transpose X. Min W equal to minimum W equal to B transpose Y. such that A equal to B and X is greater than or equal to 0, such that A transpose by less than or equal to C and Y is greater than or equal to 0. Table 2. Second table. Second table. Primal dual. Primal dual. Maximization problem. Maximization. Minimization. Minimization. Number of constraints, number of variables. Number of constants. Here number of variables. Number of variables. Less than or equal to constants. Less than or equal to constants. Constants. Non-negative variables. Non-negative variables. Non-negative variables. Next. Greater than or equal to constants. Greater than or equal to constants. Non-positive variables. Equal to constants. Unrestricted variables. Equal to constants. Unrestricted variables. Number of variables. Number of variables. Number of constants. number of constants. Non-negative variables. Non-negative variables. Non-negative variables. Less than or equal to constants. Non-positive variables. Non-positive variables. Variables. Greater than or equal to constants. Unrestricted variables. Unrestricted variables. Equal to constants. Jth variables. Jth variable of objective. Objective. Variable of objective. Jth constant of objective. Objective function. Jth constant of objective function. 11th. RHS constants for ith constraint. RHS constant. Constant for ith constraint. Ith constant. Ith constant. Coefficient of the objective function for the ith variable. Coefficient of objective function. OF means objective function for the ith variable. For the ith variable. Well, coefficient in constant I. Constant I. For variable j. Coefficient in the constant. Coefficient in constant. Constant. J for variable I. Very good. So, example 8.45. 8.45. Write the corresponding dual of the primal. Right. The corresponding 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 dual of the primal. The primal. Primal problem again, you need to write to dual. Maximize. Maximize. Maximize 5x1 plus 6x2 subject to constant STC. 3x1 plus 2x2 less than or equal to 120. 4x1 plus 6x2 less than or equal to 60. So x1 comma x2 are greater than or equal to 0 means positive. Solution. Primal dual. Dual. So maximization of this is maximization of in dual minimization of minimization. No, first my max z equal to max z equal to 5x1 plus 6x2. So for minimization z star that equal to what are there 120 260. So z star equals to 120 by 1 by the procedure of the primal to dual 260 by 2 such that STC subject to constants STC 3x1 plus 2x2 is greater than less than or equal to 120. Greater than or equal to 120 given. Here in minimization, what we try to do 3y1 plus 2y2. 2y2 is greater than or equal to 5. Greater than or equal to 5 because objective function coefficients will come with the procedure. Right. Similarly, 4x1. What is 4x1 plus 6x2 is less than or equal to 120. This converted as 4y1 plus 6y2 is greater than or equal to 6. 46. y1 comma y2 greater than or equal to 0. This is the answer. 5 marks question important. Right. Next, we'll discuss one more example. Slightly difference. Example 2. Write the dual of the primal MPP. Write the dual of the primal MPP. Maximize Z equal to maximize Z equal to 4x1 plus 2x2 subject to constant STC. Subject to constants are x1 minus 2x2. So minus 2x2 greater than or equal to 2. x1 plus 2x2 that equal to 8. x1 plus 2x2 greater than or equal to 8. Next, x1 minus x2 is greater than or equal to 10. So where x1 greater than where x1 where x1 where x1 greater than or equal to 0. x2 is unrestricted sign. x2 is unrestricted sign. Unrestricted sign. Given LBP primal. Given LBP primal is rewritten in the symmetric form. Is rewritten in symmetric form. Symmetric form as follows. As follows. Max Z max Z that equal to 4x1 plus 2x2. STC subject to constants. Subject to constants. Minus x1 plus 2x2 is less than or equal to 2. Is less than or equal to 2. So x1 plus 2x2 is less than or equal to 8. Minus x1 minus 2x2 is less than or equal to minus 8. Minus 8. minus x1 plus x2 less than or equal to minus 10. X1 is greater than 0. X1 minus x2 less than or equal to 10 because x1 is greater than or equal to 0 is given. Since x2 is the unrestricted sign, since x2 is the unrestricted sign, unrestricted sign, unrestricted sign, put x2 equal to x2 single dash, x2 double dash, where x2 single dash come x2 double dash are greater than or equal to 0. That is first. Thus, max z, thus max z equal to 4x1 plus 2x2 dash minus 2x2 double dash. So subject to STC, subject to constants, minus x1 plus 2x2 dash minus 2x2 double dash less than or equal to minus 2. Less than or equal to minus 2. Next, x1 dash x1 plus 2x2 dash minus 2x2 double dash x2 double dash less than or equal to 8. Less than or equal. Next, minus x1 minus 2x2 dash plus 2x2 double dash is less than or equal to minus 8. Next, x1 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 minus x2 dash plus x2 double dash is less than or equal to 10. Less than or equal to 10. Here, x1 comma x1 x2 dash comma x2 double dash are greater than or equal to 0 means positive numbers. Right? Next. The dual of the primal can be written as dual of the primal can be written as min z mean Z star equal to minus 2y1 plus 8y2 minus 8y2 8y3 plus 10y4 subject to constant STC subject to constants. Subject to constants. Subject to constants. Minus y1 plus y2 minus y3 plus y4 greater than or equal to 4. 2y1 plus 2y2 minus 2y3 minus y4 is greater than or equal to 2. Minus 2y1 minus 2y2 plus 2y3 plus 2y4 plus y4 greater than or equal to minus 2. So here y1 comma y1 comma y2 comma y3 comma y4 greater than or equal to 0. Now put y2 minus y3 equal to, now put y3 y2 y2 minus y2 minus y3 equal to y. Then LPP becomes LPP becomes LPP becomes mean Z star mean Z star mean Z star equal to minus 2y1 minus 2y1 plus 8y 8y plus 10y4 STC subject to constants minus y1 plus y plus y plus y2 is greater than or equal to 4. 2y1 plus 2y2 minus 2y4 equal to 2 and y1 y4 greater than or equal to 0 and y is unrestricted. Y is unrestricted. Unrestricted. Okay. Now we discussed Now procedure of the dual, and one is 5 marks question, one is 10 marks question. So most important, if you read means you'll get it. Okay, thank you very much. I'm leaving.